My name is Laurie Bassart, and this is my son Corey. Corey is 33 years old and he is autistic. What I want to talk to you about today is positive reinforcement, and specifically how to use positive reinforcement to target and shape behaviors and eliminate bad behaviors. You know, I think as parents we all intuitively praise and reward our children whenever we catch them doing something obviously good. If your neurotypical child gets all A's on their report card, you're naturally going to praise your child for that and maybe reward them with a $20 bill or something. But what I want to talk about today is praising and rewarding for the absence of a bad behavior. And that doesn't come quite as naturally. That kind of takes a little retraining of our mind to think in those terms. You don't normally say, oh, good, no pooping on the floor today, honey. That doesn't come quite as naturally. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. And I'll give you an example of what happened. When Corey was about 6 or 7 years old, he started spitting. And he was spitting just to get negative attention on purpose. And I was just beginning to learn ABA therapy, and so the first technique I did was I did a technique called overcorrection. And so whenever he started spitting, I got on the floor on my hands and knees with him, and I took his hand over hand, and I made him wipe the spit for 5 minutes. Well, at the end of a week, he was worse because he liked the negative attention. So week number 2, I tried a technique called satiation, where every time he would spit, I'd grab his little hand and I'd march him off to the toilet and I'd make him spit 10 times. And you'd think he'd run out of spit. But at the end of week 2, he was worse than ever. He was doing it more often than ever because he liked the negative attention. Well, at the time, my psychologists were talking to me about this positive reinforcement and praising and rewarding him for the absence of a bad behavior, and so I thought, well, let me try it. So I sat on the floor in his room with him for 2 mornings, for 15 minutes each morning. And I started praising and rewarding him for good dry mouth, I like the way you're having a dry mouth. And I remember I used little golden graham cereal, and initially every 15 seconds I would reward him and I'd say, good dry mouth, good job. And then I increased it to every 30 seconds, then 45 seconds, and then 2 minutes. And I did that until the end of the 15-minute sessions both mornings. And it cured him. 2 15-minute positive reinforcement sessions cured him of spitting. It has never come back since. So using positive reinforcement was much more effective and much quicker than all the aversives that I'd done the 2 weeks prior. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, is setting up actual positive reinforcement sessions with your child for 10 or 15 minutes each, doing it in kind of a casual atmosphere, kind of like that's, you know, Corey and I are on the couch today and just doing it in a casual atmosphere like that. You start out, you try to catch them when your child is already being good and not manifesting the behavior, and then you just praise and reward them every 15 seconds, every 30 seconds, every 45 seconds, every 2 minutes until the end of your positive reinforcement session of 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about reinforcers, or the little rewards that you use to praise and reward your child. I'm a big believer in primary reinforcers because that's what motivates Corey. And by primary reinforcers, I mean little food treats, little edible treats. Today I'm using M&Ms because Corey's crazy about them, and as you can see, he's begging for them. And I'm using the little teeny tiny M&Ms because that way I can praise and reward him really often. If I give him 20 or 30 of these, it's no big deal because they're so tiny. And full disclosure, I am totally bribing Corey because I'm, for the purpose of trying to make this video. If this was an actual therapy session, I'd be much stingier with the M&Ms. If you don't want to use sugary treats and you want to use something healthier like raisins, that's fine, as long as it's motivating to your child, or if your child likes to earn pennies, that's fine, whatever is motivating for your child. And by the way, one more thing I want to say about reinforcers: whatever super duper special treat that you use to reward your child, make sure you save it only for therapy times. Don't give your child M&Ms in the grocery store non-contingently, for example. Okay, I want to talk about some of the vocabulary that you would use while doing your positive reinforcement session. Let's say you are dealing with aggression and your child is having a real issue with being aggressive. The vocabulary that you could use would be, good, nice hands. I like the way you're having such nice hands and you're keeping your hands to yourself. Good job of having nice, quiet hands. And while we're on this little topic, I just want to kind of talk about something else. I've never really had any experience with this, but I somehow think this could help, and that is with self-injurious behavior. I have been so blessed that this has not been an issue with Corey. He's never had self-injurious behavior, but I know a lot of autistic kids do. And I think the vocabulary would be the same as for aggression. What you would do is you would say, nice quiet hands. I like the way you're having nice hands. What nice calm hands you're having. Good job. And I don't know if a positive reinforcement session could help for self-injurious behavior, but I just have a hunch that it might. And it might be worth trying if you have a child that has this behavior. If you are dealing with a screamer, maybe the vocabulary you could use would be, good quiet mouth. I like your nice quiet mouth. Good job of having a quiet mouth. Good job. Another good thing that happens when you set up these positive reinforcement sessions is it will really help your parenting skills spontaneously when you see your child choosing not to have a bad behavior that they normally would have. It's going to kind of sharpen your eye to see that, and so that you will, it'll come naturally for you to praise and reward your child when you see them choosing not to have bad behavior spontaneously in real life. If you are, for example, driving in your car and you're going by your child's favorite fast food restaurant and they start begging to go and they start saying, French fries, French fries, and you say, oh honey, sorry, we can't go today, we've got too many things to do, sorry, no, we can't go. And your child does not have a meltdown and does not have a tantrum and just kind of handles it neutrally, that's the time to really heap on the praise and say, oh, good job of being calm. I like your calm behavior. Good job of staying calm. You know, I think you kind of learn how to become a parent from your own parents, and I had wonderful parents. But they didn't really prepare me for Corey. I had to have a lot of special training and a lot of special help. And the two psychologists that helped me with this type of therapy were Dr. Ron Leaf and Dr. Mitch Taubman, and they helped me for almost 8 years. And they have co-authored a book that goes into a lot more detail on this type of therapy than I've been able to go into just by doing this training video. And so I want to make that resource available for you. If you are interested in purchasing that resource, you can just click on the link below. They have another associate named Dr. John McCacken, who also has written a book that has a curriculum that goes along with it. And it also goes into a lot more detail on this type of therapy than I've been able to do just by doing this video. And so I want to make that resource available for you as well. And anyway, I want to thank you very much for visiting my website, Parenting Solutions for Autism. And thank you very much for watching our video. Mr. Corey, can you say bye, see ya?
Bye, see ya.